beautiful people. I am Prairie Vintage Jewelry and I'm back today with yet another video. And today's video, we will be taking a look at you and your person that you have in mind. Now, this doesn't have to be a romantic connection, but certainly think of a person and we will pick up how that person is seeing you in the connection. And then we'll also be picking up how you are seeing your person. So it's kind of like you and your person's energy. And then we'll be taking a look at the energies kind of between both parties. Now, this is subjective because your person may be seeing you differently than how you perceive them to see you. So this is coming from your person's perspective, but you should be resonating with one side or the other. And we will be doing the format of person A, person B, so you can certainly pick whichever side sounds like you. Now, usually in these types of readings, there could be a lot of mirroring going on. And I know a couple of you guys have asked me what mirroring is all about. And certainly, you know, that is when you're in a connection with someone who is also putting off the same energies and similar frequency as you are. So a lot of times the energies are interchangeable between you and your person, and it might be difficult to differentiate which is you and which is your person. But like I said, there will be person A or person B who you're resonating with mostly, and then we will do a little bit of tarot as well, and we'll take a look at connecting energies between you and your person. So take a look at these three gems, and pile one is this green gem on a leaf. Then you've got the purple gem on a round plaque, and then you got this geometric shape blue gem. So certainly pause the video if you want. We will be using the Steampunk Tarot today for all three piles, but I've pre-shuffled the oracle cards to see what we get for you guys and to save a little bit of time. If you're interested in the jewelry I am wearing today, there will be a link below to our website, prairievintagejewelry.com, for these rings and this bracelet I'm wearing. If you are interested, please feel free to check that out. So thank you so much. Take a look and we'll see you guys shortly. Hello, pile number one. If you picked this green gem on a leaf shape, then pile one is your reading. And if you skip the intro, we'll be taking a look at your energy and your person's energy in this connection. And this doesn't have to be a romantic connection. Certainly can be any connection, any person you have on your mind. And we will pick up what energies are kind of coming through. So if it sounds a lot like another connection, then there may be another energy out here with a message for you. But we'll also be taking a look at connecting energies as well. And then we'll be taking a look at the tarot. So these are pre-shuffled. We'll be using the Steampunk Tarot, and I will list the cards below. So before we get into the connected energy between you and your person, actually, I will put this over here. We will take a look at person A and person B. Now, you might be resonating with one side more than the other. You don't necessarily have to be A, you can be on B or vice versa. So just know that you and your person might also be mirroring and sharing similar energies in this connection. Okay. So we have Badger Spirit, be fearless and bold. The Sword, sadness, destiny, crocodile. Rescuer with the light attribute provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. And then for the shadow attribute, we have assumes that the rescued will reciprocate and keeps the rescued one needy. Okay. So we do have dancing here with self-expression movement. Just going to try fitting these all on the table here. And we got star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission and activation. I follow my inner guidance. And we got regret. So I'll just shuffle these over and we will take a look for person A here. We have the nectar. We have the thief with the light attribute, sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen, and the shadow attribute, stealing money and creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Look that up. We got the snake. We got the buffalo spirit. The abundant universe will provide. Abundance coming out again. And we got trust. We got unicorn, which is innocent, trust, and honesty. We got trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. We got I offer words of good intent. And finally, we got freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Okay, so we may be a little tight here, but I think we can move some of this over here slightly. Now, if you guys are interested in a private reading, I am still doing private readings. You can send me an email and I will discuss with you what sort of reading, depending on what sort of questions or what sort of information you're looking for. And if you are interested in the jewelry I am wearing, please feel free to visit my website at prairievintagejewelry.com. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and would like to continue seeing readings like this, please subscribe to my channel. That's the best way to support me in being able to do these types of readings for you guys. Okay, so I'm just going to take a look at the frame, make sure we're all in frame. All right. So it looks like we're all in frame here, and I'll just take a minute to pick up the energy. So this will be person A, this will be person B. Okay, so I do pick up that person A is kind of really supportive of person B in this connection, and that person B at times might tend to be a little bit more self-absorbed in what it is that they want, and they kind of just go after what it is that they want, but person A is kind of there to support person B in whatever endeavors person B is kind of going through. And I feel like person B hasn't really told person A how much they appreciate the support from person A in kind of being around, and they just kind of more have this free flowing type energy, but it's also very pointed, and it's also very much no bullshit type attitude. So they kind of don't put up with a lot of crap, and I feel like person A might be a little bit not scared, but they kind of don't want to get in the way of person B. They kind of want person B to like them, and um, obviously they want to invest in this connection to see kind of where it could go. They also see person B as this really rare and unique type person. Um, I'm just picking up a lot of traits from person B more so than person A. Person A is kind of really more in the background of when it comes to personality, even though they are carrying the bulk of the relationship or the connection between the two. And I do feel with person A, there is some question around the sincerity of person B and, you know, whether person B will at some point invest in person A. And they're kind of just trusting that if they move along and keep moving forward and, you know, plowing through with this connection, that eventually once person B kind of gets over whatever I guess period of challenge that person B is going through, that the connection will flourish. And I feel that person A is very genuine with their support, and that person B is kind of more of a leader type that kind of does their own thing. But I am picking up that for person B, there is a side of them that sometimes will think about, you know, if person A was to just kind of give up on them or not be there for them, it would really crush person B. But they don't even think of it that way. They don't even want to put their mind there at all. They just kind of keep on with the whatever they're telling themselves. I say the fantasy because it's really them just going on this faith that person A will be there for them, almost like they're taking them for granted, but they don't want to put their mind around what would happen if person A were to just kind of go do their own thing. And I feel as though person A doesn't recognize how much is around them as far as love and abundance. And I mean, they are the type of carefree, loving type personality, but they're just really drawn to person B. And I feel like they are stressing out about when it will happen and how it will happen, but they just keep kind of going along in hopes that things will kind of change. I feel like person A is kind of a very light type energy, and I feel like they don't have a lot to say. They're fairly quiet. They're kind of just there for person B, and I feel like person B isn't really sharing a lot of their feelings with person A. So person A is just more showing person B how they feel by acts of service, by being there, supporting them, kind of encouraging them as well, but not like they don't speak much about their true feelings of how they're feeling and their long-term goals. And they're a little piece of them. Well, I shouldn't say a little piece. I feel as though this person maybe coming closer to the realization that there's a piece of person B or a side of person B that person A does not fully trust, and they're kind of still supporting person B, even though their senses are kind of telling them that maybe person B doesn't want what's best for person A. And I do feel as though person B is kind of a very free spirit, but also when they are focused on something, they just kind of go after it at kind of, you know, and it doesn't really matter kind of who they might step on or hurt. if they're in a situation that they need to accomplish something. I don't feel as though person B has stepped on person A at all at this point in time, or has done anything that would make person B, that would make person A question them. But person A is questioning just by watching and observing how person B is in their way that they might silently do things or treat others. So I feel as though it's becoming a reality for person A that person B might not have the best interest of person A. I'm not really so picking up a romantic connection off of this one. And if there is, I'm more picking up that A is more romantically maybe invested in person B than B is with A. But this could very well be just more of a connection between two individuals where there seems to be more unconditional love coming from A towards B. And I also feel as though A might be shutting down a side of them that will allow them to see all the love and abundance that's around them. So maybe there's this codependency on person B to latch on or be around person B so they don't have to really dig deep within themselves, even though I don't really sense that there's a whole lot of shadows to be worked on for person A. I just feel like maybe they're wanting distractions or they want to be distracted right now. I do feel like person B does care for person A though. Like maybe I'm making it sound like they don't. They do. They care mostly about, I guess, what they're kind of focused on, but they also feel as though whatever's going to happen is going to happen between A and B, and that if person A really, was invested in person B, then whatever's going to unfold will unfold. Okay, so this is what I'm picking up for A and B. We're going to take a look at connecting energies, and then we can pull some tarot. So we have hearing messages from Spirit. I am a clear channel for messages from Spirit. First quarter moon in Aquarius. Trust the universe. I was getting that with the Destiny card here. And then we have go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So I'm feeling this maybe more from A towards B. If this is someone that, if you're coming in as person A, and I have a feeling maybe most of you guys are person A, maybe you haven't really expressed to person B that you are romantically wanting to, move forward or take a step with person B. Spirit is cautioning though, because person B right now is in a situation where they're more focused on other things. And maybe that's why person A has been holding back and communicating or expressing their romantic feelings towards them. But I do sense that A is feeling it like more towards B. In fact, I'm feeling a strong energy that person A has been alongside person B when person B was maybe dating or in other relationships. So it could very well be like a friend, best friend type situation. And with Trust the Universe, what I'm feeling here for both of you guys, kind of as shared energies, but a little bit different. Like your person B, or I guess person B is more trusting that destiny will unfold in their own life, whereas person A is trusting that what they're doing is going to help them to get closer to person B, or at least get the outcome that person A is wanting from person B. And I do feel like with this messages from Spirit, that person A could very well be more picking up maybe subtle synchronicities, or just messages that they're downloads from spirit or dreams or intuition, just a knowing that they want to pursue B, and that's why they're hanging around. But I feel mostly this card is warning that maybe person A is neglecting some messages from spirit that might be saying they need to maybe focus on the abundance that's around them and the stuff that's kind of that's providing fruit for them right now in their life, not necessarily to be focused on person B. And person B really likes the attention that person A is giving them, as far as when they, text them or call them or check on them, like, but it's almost them picking up this, like, taking for granted. If they need something, they'll reach out, but it's mostly because person B is needing something from person A. Okay, so I will, maybe we'll pull one of these hope cards, and this is more like the challenge between the connection. And this could either resonate with you or your person, and certainly could be also characteristic. If you are in a romantic connection with your person, that might be their least favorite, or maybe something that's kind of keeping you guys apart from pursuing or furthering this connection. And again, if it's not romantic, it could very well be politics involved in, what's going on between the two of you guys. So what do we have here, Spirit? Past relationships. Okay, so, I mean, this doesn't have to be romantic, but it could certainly be maybe in the past. There's a history here with this person. And maybe I'm feeling as though it's difficult to get over something that's happened in the past. But I'm also picking up for a lot of you guys that person B was maybe in a connection and person A got to kind of witness it. And maybe that's part of the intuition that person A is not tapping into, was the way person B was in that connection, or the way person A watched person B kind of handle that and unfold. I'm getting a strong feeling that it wasn't really making person B shine in a positive light the way that they might have treated the person in their relationship, whereas person A just kind of was a witness to that, or support for person B. And I think Spirit is saying, like, just maybe explore that a little bit further rather than shutting it out of your mind, to say if that's how person B kind of is in a relationship, is this really what I'd want? And I think person B is more focused on attaining what it is that they want than trying to heal themselves or do any shadow work or try to kind of make themselves a better person for anyone else at this time, because they're kind of focused on their own self. I do feel like person B thinks that they are doing the right thing in their life right now, even though there is, like I said, a part of them that when they put their mind to thinking maybe I'm taking person A for granted, they kind of shut that down right away, and they don't want to put their mind there. They don't want to feel bad. They don't want to feel regret. They don't want to feel sadness or, any sort of negative feelings. And it's very quick, kind of like this crocodile, like they just shut it down. They shut down any feeling that makes them feel past just where it is that they want to go. And I do feel that this person's fairly moody as well. Like they probably have a side of them that rarely ever comes out, that maybe person A is aware of and fell in love with for person B. Or at least the reason why person A is hanging on to B is this one side, but it's far and few between. And mostly this person is very moody. And they're always kind of on the move, or at least hard to pin down and get them to talk and share. Could very well be an air sign or water sign. Picking up Aquarius for some of you guys as well. And I'm picking up more earth energy from person A. Yeah, heavy earth with person A, which would be Virgo and Taurus and Capricorn. But person B could very well be a Gemini as well. Okay, so let me pull the tarot with the steampunk and see what we see. Thank you, Spirit, for the clear and concise message for pile number 1. We are so blessed. And pile number 1, I'm so grateful for you allowing me to tap into your energy and your person's energy. Thank you so much. So we will just put that aside. We will take a look at what the tarot kind of wants to communicate here regarding this connection between person A and B in pile number 1. And maybe get a little bit more insight as to what is going on. So we'll pull the bottom card here. And one more for the top row. All right. So we got the 9 of Pentacles. We got the 3 of Swords in reverse. We got the Star in reverse. We got the 8 of Swords upright. And then we got the 3 of Pentacles. Spirit, can we get clarity on the 9 of Pentacles for pile number 1? Got the Ace of Wands. Why is the 3 of Swords here in reverse, Spirit? We got the Page of Cups in reverse. Why is the Star here, Spirit? We got the Knight of Pentacles. Why is the 8 of Swords here, Spirit? And we got the Hangman, and it is in reverse. And why is the 3 of Pentacles here, Spirit? Okay, so we got the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. All right, so I'm picking up the independence from from person B, that they are kind of a non-committed energy to pile number, or I keep saying pile, to person A. Just with this 9 of Pentacles, it's kind of, it always gives me the independence card. Someone maybe just trying to go it alone, be independent on their own, be successful and kind of drive on their own. But it's causing, I think it's causing the disconnect between pile A and B, because I do pick up that this 3 of Swords here, which is heartbreak, is coming from person A, but it is in reverse, which means person A's kind of maybe been in this heartache for a while, and they're kind of on the mend, getting better, but they've lost hope, or at least the hope that they had in this connection that things would progress is slowly going away. Like I was picking up from the oracle cards that there was still an attachment there, but what this tarot is showing me is that the hope that person A had at one point is no longer at that same level. But I do feel like person A is still kind of stuck in this 8 of Swords, which is this, well, I think both A and B are stuck in this 8 of Swords, but how A is stuck in their mental prison, I think, is by telling themselves maybe falsities about person B, or at least things that, you know, fantasies that they're hoping person B will kind of bring in or be like, whereas person B is kind of more stuck in their way due to limitations on them, on their own way of thinking and being, and they're kind of not even entertaining anything outside of their mind frame when it comes to themselves, whereas person A is more 8 of Swords when it comes to the connection as a whole. So I think both parties need to maybe free themselves of limiting beliefs, or maybe just question how, you know, what they're thinking of Like A needs to question why it is that they feel the way they do for person B. How do they come to that conclusion? Or if they say person B feels XYZ about me, you know, what are the actions? Or is it just a feeling that, you know, this person gave them at some point in time, and now there's no actions to back up anything? So actions definitely, you know, are going to be an indicator, what I'm hearing from spirit. And even if your intuition is accurate about person A, or B, which I'm sure it is, your person B is kind of far away from healing or doing any work to even remotely be able to give what person A deserves or needs or is even requesting. I don't think person A's come out and requested it though from B yet. So I find that something A also is learning is their voice and being able to put out there what it is that they want out of this connection and actually verbalize it rather than just, you know, again, acting in a certain way and hoping that person B will just eventually turn around. I feel like with this Three of Pentacles, it does speak of collaboration within the connection, that this is person A really thinking that person B is just going to all of a sudden free themselves and realize what person A has done for them and then invest in the connection, which I don't see that happening. With this Two of Pentacles, I feel like your person is just not able to even energetically balance you in the way that you might want. And I say you as in person A. I do feel like person A is coming to this realization though with the Hangman upright. It's like there was a period of time where person A really needed to contemplate, but now I feel like there's a better understanding of this connection, but I think the motions are still happening. You know, but eventually, I guess the emotions will catch up with the feelings, because I do sense that there has been less hope, or I guess less hope that person A is hanging on to this fantasy or this idea that person B will change. And I do feel with this Knight of Pentacles here in the middle, it is just, you know, under this upside down star, it's like no hope that this person's going to actually progress or solidify this connection and moving it forward or giving them what it is that they want. Yeah, they're not getting, person A is not getting the offer of love from person B, even though they're very attracted. I feel like there's lots of passion here towards A to B. And I feel like person B just isn't really in the mind frame to acknowledge passion or feelings, or kind of removed from that. They're more focused on what it is that they're kind of, and I don't know what it is that they're working on. It'll be different for everyone, but what it is that they're kind of doing in their life. But, you know, as an example, they'll call person A and be like, can you drive me here? Do you want to go do XYZ? Because they know they might have a function or something in that area. So they kind of depend on A to kind of help, but there's no real reason why person B is asking A aside from their own personal gain. And person A just kind of thinks, well, they're calling me for that, so clearly, or at least I'd like to assume that it's because they feel a certain way about me, and it's just not really true. Even though there is a part of B that cares for A, they just kind of shut it down. I don't think they're even ready at this point to review their feelings. They kind of have to go through this karmic cycle, or at least go through their learnings, and that might be a while here, I'm picking up. So we're going to get messages from your person here and see what comes up, but I will, because of the format, pull 2 from person A, and I'll pull 2 from person B, but it could certainly be crisscrossed here with messages. So Spirit, we're going to ask please to be as concise as you can. Can you please show us a message here from person A to person B if they were to tell them anything? So I will pull the bottom card on that one. So there's a lot that came out. And one more, Spirit, from person A to person B in this pile. If they were to tell them anything, what do they want to tell them? Okay, and then what does person B want to tell person A from their higher self? If they were to tell them anything, what would person B tell person A? Okay, we'll take the bottom. One more card, Spirit. Clear and concise message from person B to person A. What do they want to tell them in this connection? Okay, so we'll start with A to B. I am not sure what I want at this time. Okay, that can definitely speak of this star energy and upside down, because there is some hope being lost. So it's like, is this person B, really right for me? Or am I just doing motions at this point? Which I was picking up, but can certainly be crisscrossed. I don't find this person's even asking themselves what state they're at in this connection. I don't think they're really looking at this connection that way. So I'm thinking this is coming from A to B. So I feel like that is placed accurately. I wish I could give you the World. Yeah, I think there was a point in time where A was feeling that towards B a lot. And I think it's just really sad, because I think A was willing to do all these things, but at the same time, I think there's another layer here of what A deserves. And I don't feel like person B is that stand-up person that if they were in their best being, and I don't like to say this because everyone kind of brings, you know, value for sure. But I just feel like person A has so much to offer, but has so much in their personality and who they are, and their originality and their genuineness, their love, that no matter how strong person B works on themselves, I just feel like person A deserves better. And you know, and I do feel like person B does deserve love and happiness at some point when they are ready to take a look at themselves. But I just feel like person A just deserves much, much better. And that is around them. They're just not seeing it right now. They're stuck in their 8 of Swords, but I feel they're coming out of it. Okay, which is this, I'm not sure what I want. So there could be a few of you guys now that have really internally have asked and know that person B is not what they want in their life. They don't want someone who's only going to call them when they need something, who's only going to lean on them when it's self-serving to them. So it's like, do I even want this? But yet they just keep doing it. So maybe, you know, Spirit's saying, take a look at your actions. If it's not in line with how you're feeling, no shame in saying no. And I just feel like person A is such a good person. They have a hard time saying no or setting boundaries. And that might be where you're at right now. And I feel for a lot of you guys, you're at that state of setting boundaries because you don't know what you want. But deep down, I feel that intuition is telling you that person B is not going to be giving you what it is you want. You're just maybe not facing that. Please be patient with me. So I feel like this is part of that energy that was coming out that's giving the false hope, if you will, to person A. But I do feel like it's there. Like you have intuition, person A, if you're the one watching, or person A has intuition with the hidden feelings here, what's going on with B. And B does want A around, but it's like they want him to fulfill or self-serve them first before they even take a look at the connection. And this be patient with me, because I think B knows deep down that that is there, and that's the energy that's being given to person A. They feel that, and that patience, you know, them wanting them. So they do feel this energetic pull. But if B isn't really in line with this in the 3D, it doesn't matter what's going on here in the 5D. If that's not coming to fruition, or there's no really meat on the bone of what they're offering, then how long can A just, you know, constantly be there for B is what I'm feeling. I really do miss you. So I do feel like A, now with this star in reverse, not being sure where they're at with this connection, I feel person B may be picking this up for some of you guys. For a lot of you guys, I still feel like B is so self-absorbed in their own thing that they probably haven't even noticed, but they will notice when they call A for XYZ and A says no, because A never says no, or at least not just outright puts a boundary. But I do sense for some of you guys, B is now sensing A pulling away with the energy, because I feel the emotions are pulled away, but the actions are there. But now person B doesn't feel that emotion behind the action. So for a lot of you guys, action's still happening, but I feel for the majority of you guys, if not all of you guys, the emotion that you were putting in is kind of removed. It's kind of a spectrum. For some of you guys, like completely removed, but actions are still happening. And for some of you guys, it's slowly every day just kind of losing faith and hope that this is what you want, and giving this emotional energy for person B. So I feel this person does miss that energy you are kind of feeding them. Like they love your energy. It's not that they don't like you. I just feel like they're taking advantage, or at least taking you for granted is what I should say. They don't want to see you hurting, but I feel like Spirit's message is treat them the way they treat you. And it's always nice to extend trust to someone first. I think, this is my own personal opinion, until maybe they've given you a reason not to trust them, to take that step in love and, you know, human love, to show someone. They don't have to be, you know, showing you first. It's not a game. I feel like that's kind of my own thing. So nothing wrong with showing love and emotion, but I do feel like if you constantly are giving and someone's constantly taking, after a while, like there needs to be a boundary, no matter, you know, how well-meaning you might be. Okay, so that's what I'm picking up for the messages. And now we'll go into some advice cards here for you guys. And Spirit, we're just going to ask for the viewer. Can we get advice cards for the viewer? The best advice card that the viewer needs to hear. I do feel like a lot of them are for pile A, but what's the best advice in this connection that the viewer can take with them? Thank you, Spirit. We're so blessed and grateful for your message today. All right, we have shine brightly. Well, I mean, easier said than done, right? But it's a standout, be proud, and individuality. So I do feel like, you know, for B, there's nothing to be proud of when there's hidden shadows of something maybe you're doing that's not right. Maybe how you're treating A without fully realizing. So this light or this drive that you bring is really like not an authentic way that you want to be, because you do sense that there's something off, maybe that you're not being fair to person A. So to shine brightly, you have to be authentic and you have to be genuine to shine brightly, to stand out, to do what it is that you want, but in a genuine way. And then for person A, this shine brightly, I just feel like they have to step out of the shadows of person B and really be honest with themselves, put limitations, but also just see that there's so much abundance and love around them that they can do and be their own person and be proud of who they are. I just feel like person A is, and it's all there and they understand this, but just the way person B is with them, like I just feel like person B brings out a different side of person A that person A isn't normally like. Like, let's say if person A is normally very confident and not shy and just like all these things, when person B's around, it's like they turn into this shy person who's lost confidence. It's a very weird dynamic. Well, I say weird, but you know what I mean. It's a very different dynamic, and I just feel like A possesses all these qualities, you know. They kind of go out the window when they're around person B, and Spirit's just saying like you are able to shine brightly, and once you kind of pull away from the attachment to person B, all of your traits that are there are just going to kind of push through. I'm also picking up here with the 3 people that person B may very well be karmically tied to another, and it doesn't have to be romantic. In fact, I don't really feel it's romantic, but I feel like person B is kind of preoccupied with someone. So either a father, brother, sister. I'm feeling more masculine energy though. Boss, business negotiation, making it work, trying to figure something out in their life right now. This energy that they're tied to is another person, and you're kind of just there waiting or on the sidelines, kind of there supporting as this person's focused and intently kind of doing and steering their own life. And Spirit's saying once that's done, person B should have time to reflect, but also a message to person B that once you reflect, you might be having some regrets if you're not in your authentic self during periods of tough times, because people will remember how you were in a tough period of time if you're a strong character, or if you just flaked off and let everyone else kind of, you know, pay the price maybe, so to speak. So just kind of be aware of your character, and shining brightly would mean being authentic and true and genuine and kind. And I just don't feel that that's coming out, even though person B is capable of that. But I think the situation is very serious for them, or at least they're blinded by something that they're trying to resolve or get over. And it, like I said, be different for, you know, everyone here, because this is a collective reading. And if you want like a personal reading, you can send me an email. And I keep doing that with these cards. This is not a card. That's more of a stand. But we're going to pull one more advice card here for pile number 1. Spirit, can we get another advice card here for pile number 1, either for A or B? And just be clear and concise so I can identify what you are conveying for pile number 1, what you think they need to know. Thank you so much. Okay, we have honor thy worth. And this is strongly coming out for person A, but I mean, it is also relevant for B. But the message Spirit wants to give A is honoring thy worth would be setting boundaries, really honoring what it is that you feel and being able to communicate it, you know, rather than be silent about it. Maybe it'd be best to write down all the things maybe that you're feeling, to be able to kind of clear up what is kind of your hard stops or your deal breakers with this person, and then set those boundaries. And with person B, I feel like, I just feel like they're so wrapped up in this 3D thingy that they're doing that everything's kind of going out the window, that, you know, they might not even realize their own worth because they are in this lack-driven mentality. And when you're driving from a lack mentality, it's like you don't really know your worth because you're kind of maybe too controlling an outcome, or it's like if you trust your worth and that you'll get what it is that you are deserving of, then it will make the situation better. So if you're coming in as person B, maybe trusting in the divine and not being so, I say manipulative, but it's almost like this manipulative energy coming out from person B and trying to force a situation or control a situation to get a certain outcome. Just kind of maybe know that whatever you're wanting in that situation will work itself out in the best way that it's meant to do. So if it's not working out with what it is you had in mind, it's for a reason. But I do feel like knowing thy worth is really going to allow people to break free from that 8 of Swords. Okay, so the very last thing we're going to do is pull a music card here. And these music cards, it's really maybe a song that you guys can connect to, or at least the lyrics might trigger something further. So you can certainly look at the lyrics or listen to the song on YouTube and see if it does something as far as trigger or bring up some emotion that might help in the situation. So we have Gotten by Slash and Adam Levine. So very nice song. Take a listen to it. And yeah, if that's something that resonates, then, you know, there might be further messages in there for you. But that's all I have here for pile number 1. And I really enjoyed doing this reading for you guys. I am so blessed. Like I said, if you want to continue seeing readings like this, please subscribe to my channel, leave a like. And if you don't like this reading for whatever reason, something didn't make sense, just leave a comment so I can understand how I can get better or what challenges maybe my viewers are having regarding my readings. And that's it. That's all I have. If you want, you can take a look at pile 2 and 3, because a lot of times they are connected, but I can't guarantee it. So if you're feeling like sticking around, please do so. Love and light. We'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number 2. If you pick this purple gem, then pile 2 is your reading, and we will probably struggle a bit here trying to get all the cards on the desk, but I will do my best to get them all in frame. And if you skip the intro, we will be taking a look at your energy as far as how you feel in this connection. And we'll be taking a look at your person's energy and how they're feeling in this connection. So really, it's their perception of how you see them and how you're seeing your person. So you'll identify with either A or B, but keep in mind that your person is coming from your person's perspective. So A or B is going to maybe not resonate so much because it might be how your person is feeling, which might be not something you're aware of. But if it's not resonating at all, then it could very well be that your pile is not pile 2. But just kind of maybe give it a chance to see if you're resonating with one side. Chances are if you're really resonating with one side, then the other side is your person. And a lot of times there's mirroring going on, which is your person picking up the same energies as you or going through similar energies. So it could very well be that you'll say, oh, both of these sound like me, but one side just is going to be probably a little more relatable. Okay. Now, if you are interested in a private reading, you can send me an email. My email address will be in the description box below. They tend to be a lot more accurate. Also, if you are interested in the jewelry I'm wearing, you can visit me at prairievintagejewelry.com. I appreciate that. All right, so it looks like we will most likely be able to get all these on the table. All right, so this will be person A. And this will be person B, and I just want to check to make sure that we are all in frame here. It appears to be okay. All right, so we have the Destroyer for person A. The Bully, light attribute, highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you, and the Shadow attribute conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. Fish. We got Cat Spirit, claim your independence, perception, determination, reaching your dreams, go for it. I am kind. Humor, I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And the Courageous Peony, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. Okay, and then for person B, we have the Butterfly. We have the Fool, fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. The Shadow attribute is using humor to wound rather than to liberate, denial of your emotional truth. Then we got the Kiss. We got confidence. We got lessons with school here. Gossip. Eagle Spirit. Spirit has your back. And then we have Your Life is a Canvas, Artist Manifestation, Creative Accountability. We've got Health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. And then I speak with good intent here. Okay, so give me a minute just to pick up the energy for person A and person B, and we will get into it. Okay, so like I said for pile number one, this does not have to be a romantic connection. It could be anyone that you're kind of coming into this reading thinking about. But if you are picking up another energy that's familiar to you, it could be someone else's energy and your energy, and that is a message from spirit regarding that person. But for this one here, what I'm really picking up is person A, which is the side here, is very much a surface type person. They're not very, now I say surface, but I mean, they're driven, but I don't feel like they are really deep within emotions or feelings. In fact, I feel like this person is kind of really just based on actions. And I do feel with fish, though fish could be very deep with water and all that, but I feel like this is more maybe speaking about this person's determination to get money and be successful. And I also pick up from this card maybe some religious beliefs that they hang on to, or at least maybe their religion's very important to them. But I feel like maybe they're kind of out of touch with how people see them. I feel like they think that they have a certain image or persona that really is not what they're, or at least what person B sees them as. Person B sees them kind of differently, and person A really thinks that they're giving off this sort of persona of somebody who is maybe obviously determined and driven and all that, but they don't really see the extent of how person B kind of sees through their maybe shallowness or surfaceness, if that's a thing. Person A could be fairly hurtful and just kind of cold, but they always think they're kind of the good guy or doing it for or at least they tell themselves they're doing it for someone else, like the favor for someone else. And in this case, potentially they think they're helping person B, or they'll do something, but it's more self-serving to them, and then they'll just say, yeah, I did this for you, kind of thing. That's coming through for some of you guys. I just feel like this person lacks confidence, even though they're giving off this big image that they're confident and they're going after it. And and obviously material things like money and that sort of thing means a lot to them. I don't really even want to say money means a lot to them, because they're not materialistic per se, but I feel like they like to paint the image that they have more than maybe they actually have, and that this is going to make them appear to be a better person as far as status. And they are very concerned with appearances, as far as not physical appearance, but image appearance, how they appear to others, how successful they appear, and really it's their own. Yeah, it's like their own. They're wrapped up in their own little persona of how they want to be and how they want to be perceived by others. And I feel that comes at a price or at cost, but they tell themselves that they are nice and that they are being kind and all that, but I think they really think that they are being genuine. I feel like also they think when they are when something's revealed of what they've done that might put a bad light on them, that they chalk it up to humor, or that they think they're funny by doing it, but they're not funny at all, is what I'm getting from person B, thinking, well, that's not very funny, or that wasn't very nice. And I'm not really picking up a romantic connection between these two, so I mean, it could very well be, just this is not what I'm seeing here, but we will pull the tarot after and take a look at connecting energies. But with person B, I feel like they are actually learning a lesson with this person. With school coming out in gossip, I almost feel like person A has taught him, or at least is teaching him, a lesson right now in life. And I do feel like it's maybe taking a toll on person B, like stress-wise. And it may even be impacting health, because person B is kind of having to deal with this. But I think person B needs to maybe realize that, and I think they do, but maybe they're putting up with more of person A than they absolutely need to. But I feel like here with the butterfly, that person B is kind of more transitioning away from anything painful that person A is kind of being, or at least kind of not even acknowledging it and just kind of moving on with their happy-go-lucky type self. I just feel like person B is very genuine and honest with how they feel, what it is that they want. I do feel at one point in time, person B might have been actually feeling something for person A. And this could be an ex. I'm feeling for a lot of you guys, maybe there was an ex. I feel like marriage as well at some point. So it could be you guys considered yourselves married, an ex like that. With this card here, I do feel like B is still kind of learning the lessons that A gave them and that connection when they were together, or that relationship that they experienced together. But I don't feel like for a lot of you guys that it is still romantically on, but that at some point it was, and maybe there is some potential that B thinks maybe happening with A. And maybe this, I'm feeling for a lot of you guys, this is like solidifying whether, you know, is this going forward or not, or should I even consider this, or maybe just entertainment purposes with this person I'm picking up, because I do feel like B is kind of already moved on, and I do feel like A is just kind of, I mean, if person B really wanted to be with person A, I think person A would, but I just feel like person B is really kind of turned off by person A all of a sudden by the way they've been behaving, or their shallowness or surfaceness. I don't really, I'm painting A as a really shallow person, and I do, you know, I don't think they're shallow. I think they have a kind heart, and I think that they mean well, and I think they want well, and they certainly want well for B. But I just feel like in their life, like that was the predominant energy that was coming out, and maybe they're just covering up pains and stuff that's happening with this image. But I feel like they're just not really doing any sort of deep work. Whereas I feel with B, there's a lot of lessons and experiences that they've had just being around A. And I do feel like B still wants what's best for A. I feel like B kind of looks out for person A because they know that they might be a little bit, get themselves into hot water with situations where they're saying or doing something. Because I also feel like B can kind of fly off the handle all of a sudden and get like into this mood or this mode or this temper. And I do feel like B kind of grounds A lot. And it's kind of there to listen and be genuine and just kind of, but I do feel like it's taken a toll on person B. And I think Spirit is here to tell B like that Spirit has your back and your support. And it's okay. Like, it's okay if you feel, I just feel like person B kind of wants to do their own thing now and maybe let go or take a step back from A. And they still feel like they have to kind of be the supporter of A, or watch out for them, or be like a big brother, big sister, or mother, father type energy for A. And Spirit's here to say that it's taking a toll on B, and just know that Spirit has your back, and it's okay to kind of let go and be able to kind of feel your emotion, and that your life is a canvas. Because I think there's been a lot of energy put in A that your life kind of now needs some, you know, some work as well. And maybe for a lot of B, it's easier to focus on A because then that's kind of a project, you know, whereas focusing on B and really trying to see what's next for B might be scary, or at least not. It's just easier to focus on someone else than it is to focus on self. And I do feel like person B should really feel their emotions still, because I think they're still going through it, but that they are transforming right now, in a position of transforming, and that, you know, they're turning a new page in their life. I do feel like there is a lot of pain that's happened with person A, with this gossip and the school and lessons, and maybe you're still hanging on to some pain and haven't really told A about how it impacted or made you feel. Maybe they betrayed you in some way, but spirit is communicating if it has. It's just A isn't as aware of the depth and their actions, that it wasn't in a way, even though maybe the action was malintent, it wasn't that person A was meaning to cause that much pain to you, even though their action, they didn't really give the foresight into what that action would cause. And I feel like with this gossip card, maybe you trusted them and they kind of did something to demean your character, or you trusted them and they kind of broke your trust. So that's what I'm seeing here for A and B. Now we're going to see the shared energies here. We have follow your bliss. My soul sings with joy. First quarter moon in Gemini, speak your world into being. And then here, give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. So I do feel like, a relationship, again, does not need to be romantic, but with this work on your partnership, I feel like there's a reason why you guys need to make it work. So if it is an ex, maybe it's a father of a child, or maybe it's someone that, if it's not like romantic, it's somebody you have to learn to get along with because it's family. And just work on your partnership is like finding a way to kind of work together, giving the connection a chance, even after this, this gossip and school thing happened. It's like being able to kind of forgive and see how you guys can move forward in the partnership. I feel like there needs to be a conversation, an open conversation, but I feel like B might be too scared to talk to A. And I don't mean scared as in they're scared of him, but they just would rather avoid A flying off the handle and not communicating. So I just feel like it needs to happen. But yes, A would most likely maybe throw a tantrum. So it's difficult to talk to someone who is in that mode. So maybe pick a time where talking to A might be, a good time. And it does talk about first quarter moon in Gemini, but I'm just getting a lot from this first quarter moon. So maybe, take a look at and go and Google first quarter moon of the month and pick that time to maybe have the conversation with your person. Might be the sign here with this card, but I do feel like there needs to be a conversation had. And the following your bliss, I feel like for both of you guys, once this tension's kind of resolved or discussed, I feel like your connection will get a lot stronger, and that there are building blocks to be had here. I think your person's guard is focused on this thing of image, and it's all really just kind of building walls, whereas once they feel more connected to you, like they probably did at one point, that will soften. But I just feel like they have a lot to work through in order to gain your forgiveness. And you, I say you, but person B, what I'm really getting from this follow your bliss is this: your life is your canvas, that the best is yet to come. And I feel the best is yet to come within your life and your connection, but the best is yet to come with this connection. Like you guys still haven't had the best. And I feel like after this one thing is resolved, that it's really going to connect you guys in a way that you guys haven't been bonded, and that this is the worst of it, and that the best is yet to come with this person, and this person will likely learn lessons from this, but a conversation needs to be had. But that you have a lot of, still so much within your own personal relationship to self that you're going to be going through. And right now I feel like you're going through a transformation already. And I think your person's kind of avoiding conversation, maybe avoiding and just like flying off the handle and doing this focused, aggressive type energy, so that it pushes any energy that's trying to pierce them with conversation or with identifying truths. They're just kind of like, and look what happened here. And no. Like, they're just really like, where person B is just like, oh, maybe not a good time to talk to them. When they come around, this person's kind of more scattered, but I feel like they're just putting off this energy so that they don't have to face the reality of what they've done or talk about it, because they know they've hurt you and that wasn't really what they intended on doing, even though they knew if they did XYZ, it would result in you know, and Z, they knew that when they did it. So I'm not saying that they did this and they wouldn't know what would happen, because they full well knew what was going to happen. They just didn't really understand or do it to hurt you, and that it would maybe hurt you as much as it did. I think they knew it hurt you, to be honest. I just don't think that they were intending on hurting you, and they were putting their needs first because it was easier at the time. But I do feel like this person did learn from this lesson and has, but I feel like they need to forgive themselves. And when the conversation happens with them, they learn to diffuse and forgive themselves, and you understand, because you kind of walk the higher road. You understand their language, that you're able to forgive them in your own way at some point, I think. Now, you don't have to do it if you're not feeling it's right, but I do feel for a lot of you guys, your ability to be the bigger person transcends, and then this person learns to forgive themselves, which helps de-escalate the situation and build a stronger union between you guys. And the best is yet to come. And I do sense with B, there is a little spark still of hope here. And I do feel like with A, the spark is kind of buried under a bunch of stuff, because they don't really want to just think that person B would be just removed from their life. I think they're very hurt by their actions, their own actions, and they haven't forgiven themselves. So they don't feel like they even deserve B in their life. But they're sure not showing it. Okay, so now we're going to pull one of these hope cards, and this is kind of more of the hang up in the connection between you two. It could very well be like a characteristic that, you know, the person's not liking about you, but most likely just a hang up within the connection that's causing maybe the divide in the energy. Spirit, can we get a hope card here for what is the challenge right now within this connection? Controlling. Yeah, I feel like with the bully card here, and you know, this determination, the go for it, like this person has been very controlling of, well, I feel like they're not really controlling of B so much anymore, but I feel maybe at one point in time A was controlling of B, and I feel like they're still kind of giving off that vibe, but I feel like they're kind of, it's more surface. I feel like they're understanding maybe their ways, but definitely someone here, and I'm feeling it's most likely A, has been controlling, and it might be turning off B. So if you are A, just know that B is wanting to maybe have a little bit more collaboration in trying to make things work, and maybe how you think B sees you is not, because with this perception card, I just feel like A thinks that B is seeing them in a way that they're actually not seeing them at all. So that's what I'm getting from that controlling card. We will do the tarot now for you guys and see what comes up. Thank you, Spirit, for the concise messages for pile number 2. We are so blessed and grateful. And we will ask for clear messages for pile number 2 regarding the connection between A and B, person A and B. Anything that you would like to share with person or with pile number 2. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have the 8 of Swords. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Emperor in reverse. There's that controlling card coming out right smack dab in the middle. We have the 10 of Swords upright. We have the High Priestess in reverse. Why is the 8 of Swords here, Spirit? We have the King of Cups. Why is the Ace of Pentacles here, Spirit? We have the Moon in reverse. Why is the Emperor in reverse? Six of Pentacles. Why is the Ten of Swords here, Spirit? This one's calling out to me. We got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. No, sorry, the Page of Swords in reverse. And finally, why is the High Priestess here in reverse? We got the Five of Swords. I am picking up a lot of the same energy, but more of what I guess happened, or at least when I said there was a past X or past energy here with, I just feel like this controlling energy is coming from A. The Emperor in reverse is also giving me maybe an immature vibe of someone who is like acting like a child and stubborn. And I do feel that from person A. You know, this Eight of Swords speaks of limiting yourself with maybe a belief that might not necessarily be true, and it's kind of holding you back in a prison that you're able to break free from. And it could very well be limitations that others have put on you that you believe to be true but aren't necessarily true. I just feel like person A is coming strongly, that they feel like person B has not forgiven them, is still mad at them, and that they think they're horrible, and that they feel that they're horrible. So they're just acting horrible. I say horrible, but I'm going a little extreme, but you know what I mean, in that cold energy. So they might as well be stubborn, they might as well be immature. But I feel like if the olive branch is extended from person B to A, even though they might not be deserving of it, maybe that A will soften. They're just kind of in this Emperor reverse immature attitude. But I do feel like they want to progress and move forward with the connection. They want things to be kind of how they were. They feel right now that things have come to an end, a very painful end with how things were in the past, and it's just over, how it was between you guys. But with this High Priestess in reverse, it's like there's this hidden secret or hidden knowledge or information that maybe something that you didn't know. And I feel like it's A to B, so maybe this is speaking of the past. I don't know, but it felt like there was something that had happened that kind of, you know, with that rumor in school that taught B a lesson that maybe not necessarily they deserve to have, because A wasn't being on the up and up. I feel like maybe that secret came out, but I'm getting from Spirit that I don't think everything's fully come out. And maybe that's why there needs to be a conversation for a better understanding, because there's more. That's what for sure I'm feeling. For sure I'm feeling from Spirit that there's more. There's more information you don't know. Now I'm making a obviously assumption that you're here as B. But if you are here as A, then I feel as though you have information that is unknown to B, that you probably want to communicate, but you feel like is, you know, B doesn't want anything to do with you. But as we saw with the first part, that B is still very kind and open, just they are hurt from the actions. So here we have the King of Cups, and I do feel like B has the ability, person A has the ability to be this King of Cups, and always has, and maybe at some point they have been, right? With the King of Cups is like this being that's like solid. It's sharing emotions, being more gentle, being kind of a hopeful dreamer type person. It is the more feminine of all the kings here, so not necessarily that this person's feminine, because I do feel like they're very much in this masculine type energy, even though we are seeing this immaturity, more like a boy type. But I think that's more of a stubbornness coming through, but that there is this creative loving type side to person A that has been locked away, especially since what happened between A and B, that they are kind of putting away. But Spirit's saying to be more in your King of Cups, person A, if you're listening. And for person B, that yes, person A does have the ability to be this King of Cups, and maybe you saw them as that at some point, but I do feel like the best is yet to come. and that if you did see them as this King of Cups, there's only more for this person to offer you once you guys diffuse and work through your challenges with the communication. The Moon in reverse speaks of fears, and I do feel like even though there is fear from B, I think B is probably a little stronger in pulling through the fear to be able to reach out, even though, again, B has to step up. And I just feel like maybe B is done stepping up, you know, or at least at this point, and they were trying to transform, and they're saying, is it even worth it? But I do feel like, and I don't want to steer you in any which way, but I do feel like it is worth it. I do feel like if you're able to extend to person A, that will help, because person A has very deep fears, and I don't think that they're going to drop this persona or this way of being until they feel you have fully or not fully, but until they know that you're at least going to forgive them a little bit, or at least willing to work with them. So it must have been something that's really hurtful, because they're just wanting even a little bit of a chance for their fear to kind of drop. But right now it's very high fear. That door is closed, and there's no way that they're going to reach out or do anything because they're very scared. That you are angry, that you don't want to talk to them, that what they've done is kind of the deal breaker. It's over, it's painful. And so they're like, fine, then I'm going to be this stubborn little energy. But I think it's more of a persona, because if you reached out, they're like, oh, actually, you know, I am this King of Cups and Emperor. In fact, this is a very, very, I'm feeling now from Spirit, so much love from this person. Very deep love. Person will go to the end of the earth for you, and I think you sense it. But it is, I wasn't picking that up at all until I kind of did that. I think they're scared. So there's definitely potential here. With the Six of Pentacles, yeah, there's definitely potential here for investing in this connection. And I feel that person A wants to invest, but they're scared and they're not going to step forward. But all person B needs to do is maybe open that crack a bit, and person A will, you know, give the effort and the energy to person B that person B was wanting and deserving of. I feel like the conversation needs to happen, and it's going to be most likely an ugly conversation. And I think that person B really wants to give it to person A, but I don't think it's going to help. But it will help to talk, but just not maybe coming off so strongly. In fact, what I'm picking up very strongly from Spirit is, even if you came off talking about it, but you're angry, it'd still be better than what person A is thinking right now, is that you don't even want to talk to them. Like, and that it's done, and that. But if you came to talk angry, I see them smiling. Okay, that's what I'm picking up from A. Like, they're smiling, like, okay, thank God. Thank God you're angry and throwing things at me, but at least you're here. You know, yeah, they really want to discuss what happened and maybe share this, but they are scared. And I don't know that the full truth is going to come out right away, depending on how you present your conversation with them. But there is more to this story. And I do feel here with the Five of Swords, like, it's painful. It was deceitful. Somebody got challenged, and was it worth it? You know, somebody got slighted, and both of you guys kind of feel the loss. So that's what I'm picking up here for the tarot. Now we will take a look at messages from A and B here to see what comes up. So Spirit, can we please get 2 messages from person A to person B, if they were to tell them anything at all? What would person A tell person B? I feel this one wants to come out. I am undecided at this time. Okay, let's get one more. I'm going to pick up what we're picking up. And we got make love to me. Okay, so for some of you guys, the romantic side is definitely coming out here. This I'm undecided at this time. This person, when we were first reading them, the door was closed because they didn't even want to consider the fact that, you know, they just assume that you're just done and that the door is closed. And if that's the case, like they wouldn't just go and move this connection forward, even though I do feel like they want to have that bond with you again, but they're undecided because they can't read you. I feel like they can't read you at all. They just make the assumption based on the actions that if the roles were reversed, they would be angry and they would not want to talk to them, you know. So that's how they're feeling. But I do feel like with this make love to me, your person does want to reconcile, and that's like the hidden underneath of it all. When you are able to extend the olive branch, the make love to me comes out. They feel like then they're able to kind of embrace their feelings, but right now it's like they don't want to embrace this feeling at all, because if you're not going to forgive them or even just want to work with them, why would they even entertain thinking of you in this way? They're just kind of putting it off the table. That's what I'm feeling. It's like not even in their mind right now, because they just want to resolve. So they don't know right now how you feel, and it's going to really determine how they want to move forward within the connection, if they even want to at all, because they're too scared. Okay, so what does person B from pile number 2, if they were to say anything to pile number 2, person A, what would they say? So what would B say to A? What would person B say to person A? And we're going to take the bottom card of the ones that fell. I never meant to hurt you. Okay, well, I do feel like person B got hurt from person A, but I also feel like maybe person B, you might be hanging on to guilt for how you reacted in the situation. And Spirit's here to say that you reacted perfectly fine based on what had happened. Even if you feel you overreacted or acted in such a way that's not you, I think you feel you hurt person A, and maybe that's why you're here. Even though you're hurt, I just feel like you hurt them by the way you responded, or maybe the way you pulled away completely. Maybe made them, cut them up completely, like just cut them out. And then you felt bad that maybe you feel, oh, did I overreact? Maybe I should have listened to them some more. Maybe I should understand, even though you were angry and have a right to be. I feel like you're kind of regretting, or not regretting, but you're kind of feeling bad for how you reacted to maybe the situation and putting this person kind of out, which I don't feel that you should be hard on yourself about, but I do feel a lot of you guys are being hard. I don't want to argue. Yeah, this person flies off the handle easily, or gets very like loud and very boisterous, and I just feel like you're kind of more don't want to argue. If they wanted to talk and there was without doing circles, and you get to the bottom of a conversation with actual meaning and understanding, then you might be okay with having the conversation. But it just seems like it'll turn into an argument, and I feel like it may at first, because A is going to be kind of with this energy of hard to pierce through, so give off this energy like rah rah, and then make you feel like, okay, I can't even talk to this person, but I think just, in time, and we did see that first quarter moon might be timing, but maybe what you feel is a good time, Spirit saying might be a good time. So you might want to review a conversation, or at least what you think you would tell your person. Okay, so let's take a look at some advice cards here for this connection. So Spirit, for connection for pile 2, can you please give us clear and concise advice for pile number 2 and this connection? What do you think they need to hear at this time? Thank you so much. So we got the family connections, respect, people, and kinship. I was picking up with earlier that there was like an ex, or it was a family connection, or maybe there was kids involved, like the husband and wife type situation, past energy, that type of an energy. But just the family connections here, I feel like despite what has happened, I feel like you guys will always be family, and I think things tie you together beyond just the connection. So whether you have kids together, you guys will always need to be connected right? And if you guys don't have children or family together, I just feel like you guys are from the same soul family, and I just feel like you guys are connected always to each other, and I feel you guys both know it. There's a connection between you guys, like, and that's what's making it really challenging, because you can't completely pull away, and so being absent from each other's lives is challenging. So I just feel like Spirit's saying that with family, you know, you don't always have to just forgive because they're family, but what I feel here is important, and takeaway is this respect, people, and kinship. It's almost like if you really just take a look at that person's individuality as a person and treat them with respect, whether you're A or B, despite what has happened, the actual person, that I think you guys can get past this and build upon your relationship and just kind of start anew with the respect. And certainly I think A, if you've done something to slight B, to apologize if you feel that, you know, you need to. But I do feel sense that you're very much in your fears that you won't even get in the vicinity of B. And I think that might be a good idea, because B's kind of taking their time as to when it is that they want to, if they even want to have the conversation with you. But I do pick strong love. I feel this from this card. What I'm really picking up, guys, is this this love that, you know, despite what has happened, it's just this unconditional love that keeps giving. And I do sense that from both of you guys, that it's an unconditional love, and that if someone was to slight person A, the first person that'd be in there is person B, to help defend person A, and vice versa. That if something was happening with B, person A would be in there. Kind of like, you know, if your family member got into a fight, even though you might not be on good terms, you would certainly jump in there. That's kind of what I'm feeling, is that you have each other's back, and just not to lose sight of the respect to give each other to get through this, and just even listening, right? Like having that conversation, just trying to be respectful of maybe what that person was thinking or going through, and that they're human, right? If they've done something that maybe they shouldn't have done, they are human. And just respecting the fact that everyone screws up, or everyone makes decisions they're not proud of. You know, how would you treat your child if they made that decision? Again, definitely up to you, but that's kind of what I'm picking up from Spirit. We are going to pick up one more advice card. Sorry if the lighting is dark. It's kind of getting darker out now, but if you can see that. So we have here cultivating ease and grace. Yeah, like what we were picking up was it's so tense right now on both sides, but the love is there. So I just feel like cultivating ease and grace is like, this is definitely a connection where you guys, once you diffuse the situation, slowly you guys can build upon with ease and grace. The grace comes through again with that family card that I was feeling, with respect and just being able to maybe be graceful. And I know it's difficult for A to be graceful right now, but that I'm picking up, that's their way of reacting to it in order to, that's the only way that they know how to react, because they're feeling bad for what they did. So they just have this energy about them. But as if B comes in kind of gracefully, I think A will kind of follow suit, and it just kind of diffuses and really builds upon this connection, which I feel with this heart, you know, it transcends the 3D here. I just feel like with the wings, the heart coming down, it's like this connection that you guys have is beyond this lifetime together. It's like you guys know that. That's what makes it very difficult, because you got to kind of overcome any sort of difficulties that have happened in the 3D, and it's difficult. But I think once B learns to just really go through everything that they've experienced, and if they're able to be the bigger person yet again, or want to make that decision, they can step forward in a time where they can talk to A full well, understanding that whatever A is going to be off-putting is just a reflection or a reaction. it's more of a guarded reaction. Not guarded. It's like they're acting that way. I don't even know what the word is, but they're acting that way because they don't want to hurt, and they're being showy so that they think they're making it easier so that you don't have to go through. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So trying to articulate that feeling, it's very weird. It's like, it's not weird, I call it weird, but it's like, well, it's bizarre that they're doing something to get a different result. Like, why would you go and yell at someone when you want someone to talk to you? But that's what they're doing. It's like, I'm going to be loud and boisterous and kind of like, I don't know about all these things, even though I want this person B to come to me and want to talk to me because I want it too. But I don't want person B to go through pain and be uncomfortable and relive that pain because I will be crushed. So I don't want person B to have to open up and relive it. So if person B starts talking about it, I'm just going to lash out. So then B will stop. And that's for their own good. And that's how they're seeing it, where it's like, well, you know, B's going to come talk to A when they're full, well, and ready to, and calmly, and A just needs to calmly answer, even though it's painful. Both parties need to painfully have the conversation, and it's going to hurt, and then it's going to be, you know, acceptance, and then it's going to be loving, and then it's going to be pure joy, and then it's going to be strong. That's kind of the progression, but I feel like A is like, I'm just going to cut it down before it even happens because I need to protect B. Because I don't want B to feel any of the pain that I've already caused them, tearing this open, walking through it. I'm ashamed. I'm very ashamed of how I acted. I regret what I've done. There's more to this story that I don't know that I'm ready to share with B that's going to cause even more pain, but I need to explain it all the right way, and I want to be honest. So if I explain it all and go through it, B might be more hurt because of this new information, whereas it may or may not be more hurtful. I don't know, but I'm picking up. B just doesn't want to add, or A doesn't want to add any more to it. They've already hurt you. So even if it's insignificant piece of information that you're like, well, that didn't really make a big difference, but no, you never told me. In their mind, it's like anything that's new information would make B kind of be angry. You never told me that. And it's like, okay, well, that's not really going to make or break the situation. The fact remains the main issue that happened, and let's get past this. And if we can, let's work together gracefully and together for the sake of kids, family, or just even having that friendship for some of you guys. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for the advice cards. And then we do have these song cards, and this is, well, I'm going to pick the bottom one because that's what I normally do. But song card, which could very well be a song that's significant or lyrics that might have more meaning. So you might want to look up the lyrics to the song or listen to it on YouTube for more understanding. There might be some messages in there for you. I Love You Always Forever by Donna Lewis. So yeah, take a look at, you know, the lyrics to this and just even the meaning. I love you always forever. I just feel like that transcends this 3D, that bond, that family bond I just feel between you guys. That's beautiful. So that's all I have here for you guys. Pile number 2, oh my goodness, that was a long reading, but I enjoyed it. And if it resonated, you can definitely leave me a like. And if you haven't subscribed, that's the best way to support me and my channel. If you don't like this reading and you want to dislike it, can you just leave a comment so I know what exactly is not that you don't like, so I can understand what it is that maybe I'm not doing in a way that might be better for you to understand, or for me to just get better at communicating, or the platform I'm using here. I just like to convey what it is I'm picking up, and that is all I can do at this point. So thank you so much. Pile number 2, if you want to go see pile number 1 or pile number 3, feel free to join me there. Thank you so much. See you soon. Love and light. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous pile number 3s. If you pick this blue gem, then this is your reading. Now, it's interesting because I pre-shuffled these piles, and got completely confused when I was putting them together, because I think we got extra cards, which at the time of the shuffle certainly was coming out, and it totally threw everything off. So I'm feeling this confusion potentially within this connection. Now, we will get into your reading, and if you skip the intro, this is going to be how your person is seeing the connection and how you're seeing the connection. Now, some of it may resonate as far as how you think your person is seeing it, but because it is coming from your person's perspective, it may not sound like your person at all, because again, it may be coming from their perspective of how they see you. But as long as one side is resonating with your energy, then I would say this is your pile. So just kind of, you know, see if you connect with person A or B, and then just kind of keep an open mind as to your person feeling the way that they're feeling. Of course, if it completely doesn't resonate, then chances are you're most likely in another pile. But usually if you're connecting to one energy, one side, I should say, completely, then chances are the other side is your person's energy. And we will be taking a look at the tarot as well after, as far as the connection and messages from your person. So if you are interested in a private reading, send me an email. My email address will be in the description below. They tend to be a lot more accurate than these collective readings. And if you are interested in any of the jewelry I'm wearing today, it is available at prairievintagejewelry.com. Feel free to take a look at that when you've got a free moment. So I'm just trying to get, we'll put those aside. We're just trying to get all the cards here. I don't want that there, actually. Okay, and because we got extra cards here, we're probably going to run out of a little bit of room, but certainly they wanted to come out. Okay, now I am just going to move that down and make sure we got everything in frame. Let me just check. Okay, I think we got everything in frame here. We'll take a look at person A, and then we'll take a look at person B. So you might resonate with one side over the other. And then we'll take a look at connecting energies, and we'll pull some tarot and then messages from your person and some advice. So we got lots to cover. So I'll try to do this as thoroughly as I can. So just give me a minute to pick up the energy. Okay, so actually I'm going to go over the cards real quickly because I realize I haven't done that with you guys, but we got the Vision card. We have Nettle with Boundaries and Caution. We have the Seas of Mentaka, Seeing Potential, Bringing Unconsciousness to Light. We got Service here. I feel good when I can help others. We got the Child Orphan card with the Light attribute, Independence, based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. The Shadow attribute, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. We got the Beaver. We got the Dear Spirit, being a gentle touch. Sorry, bring a gentle touch. We got Forgiveness. And then we have I Embrace It All. And then with person letter B, we have the Crow. We have Father, Light attribute, talent for creating and supporting life. Positive, guiding light within a tribal unit. Shadow attribute, dictatorial, control, and abuse of authority. We have the Orphan card here with number 5. We got Growth and Passion. They both wanted to come out. We have Stairs, Direction and Timing. And then we have the Owl Spirit with the number 43, which says you can see clearly now. And then we have I Am Peaceful, Gratitude, I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. A New Earth, it's happening, keep holding the vision. And then we have perseverance. Okay, so let me tap into these energies and I will get into your reading. I feel like let me just start off by saying that this does not have to be a romantic connection. This can just be about the person that you had in your mind. And if this sounds like someone else and you, so you can either resonate with A or B, then it could very well be a message from someone that you know. If it sounds familiar, from someone else, the message from that person to you. But I did have the intent here that it would be the person that you have on your mind. And I did, for the other two piles, I don't want to do spoiler alert if you were going to bounce there, but I wasn't really, especially for one, wasn't really picking up the romantic nature. And for B, it was kind of mixed, but certainly for a lot of them, it was more of tied to kind of an X. With this one, I am feeling so much love. I got to tell you, like, you guys have a mission here on Earth that is just servicing and helping moving forward. I just feel like it is this love that you guys share and this joint vision that you guys have. And I do feel like you guys both bring your own A and B, your own ability to the situation. And definitely you guys have your own fault. But together you guys are like unified in your vision and moving things forward. And I do feel like with the orphan coming out in B and the orphan coming out in A, there might be a tie to past traumas, but you guys are well aware. But that's how you guys connect, is because you guys have experienced similar experiences in the past, or at least have resulted in the same type of causing the same type of pain, carrying that same type of pain, going through the same types of pain, maybe not the same situation, but this carrying that pain and understanding one another in this arena that's able for you guys to really respect. And like, I feel like person B is kind of maybe more of the driver a little bit. But I do feel like A also does obviously bring their own value. But I feel like here with the crow, and then you see them carrying this little rainbow here of a world, they're kind of driving, picking up, and moving forward. And I feel like the vision person A has is kind of being driven forward by person B. So it's like person A is kind of more of this creator, creative person coming up with maybe the inspiration, the idea, the drive, even though person B is also creative, but they're able to be a little bit more, I'm picking up they're a little bit more organized maybe. They're also a little, yeah, definitely more organized to move forward and actually drive what needs to be driven to move things in the direction that things are supposed to go. I do feel like sometimes person A will get into a little bit of a funk because they are this creative being. I feel like they are always kind of in their creative headspace, but occasionally they'll get where they just, they shut down maybe, just so they can kind of recoup. And I feel like person B totally understands that about person A. And when person A is doing that, person B just kind of focuses on what can help move forward. And I feel like you guys have this mission you guys are working on together. So I don't really necessarily see here anyway, and we'll see with the tarot, but that it's like the mission is to work on the connection. It's like the mission is to do X, which has brought you guys even closer together. I don't know if it's brought you guys together, but I know you guys are together doing this mission. And that seems to be the focus. So I am getting caution from spirit that maybe because the focus is outside of the connection, that maybe that is why the connection is strong, but also that given a long period of time, if there isn't focus on the connection, maybe then the connection just kind of might not peter out, but not be about the connection, and there is so much beauty to be had that you might want to circle back into giving energy to each other as much as you guys are on this, focused on this thing. But if this isn't romantic, which it could very well not have to be, because I'm seeing you guys both focus on a common goal. Okay, so it could very well be a best friend, someone who is you're working or collaborating with, a business partner even. But I do feel so much love and understanding of each other, like very deep. And but there's so much focus on this project or this mission that you guys are on that somehow the focus on the connection is not there. And I do feel like whoever's here watching this is because maybe there is an awareness in you that slowly this connection might not be about the connection, and you're scared that you'll lose your person. You have so much respect, but you also, you know, this mission means so much to both of you guys, but I feel like the connection means even more. But it's now become about the mission that the connection kind of is not as strong maybe as you'd like it to be. And I just feel like with person B, they give person A so much hope and inspiration. They're definitely, person B is person A's muse and inspires them and is the root of their creativity. But the unwavering faith that person B has in this mission and this goal and this ability to say this is kind of what's going to happen and just know it, even though I feel person B sometimes questions it, but they do know. They're just kind of maybe being devil's advocate and not, you know, obviously being completely dumb in not thinking that, you know, something could definitely sabotage this. But at the end of the day, their ability to know and have this unwavering ability, person A thinks, in this mission is so attractive to person A, and very much they admire person B's determination. The fact that they just keep going forward with this perseverance, it's happening, keep holding the vision. It's like even when person A loses hope, which I have a feeling it's off and on because they're very sensitive. They might all of a sudden just be like, oh, it's not going the way I had planned, and kind of maybe feel like giving up. But then person B is like, no, here's where it's going, and have so much passion and believe in person A's idea and believe in person A's ability to foster this creation that they're making. I just feel like it's really healing for person A, and it's also healing for person B. So it's like you guys are healing through doing this, even though there's still lots of healing needs to be done. You guys are healing each other by doing this mission. I feel like person B might be further ahead slightly, but it's really helping A go leaps and bounds because they're able to follow in the footsteps of person B of how the healing and this mission is doing it. Also, caution from spirit that focusing on the mission or whatever it is that you guys are building together is also maybe taking away from focusing on self. And I think it's healing and giving the stepping stones for you guys to have a foundation to then be able to look from within. But I feel like more for person B that it might be a little bit of a distraction rather than looking, you know, at the wounds or the traumas or of the self. But I mean, it is healing and therapeutic for them to move forward with this, and the gratification they get out of having A totally trust in them. So it helps build spirit and helps build their own ability to confidently work on themselves at some point. But I just feel like it's easier for them to focus completely solely on that and then not, you know, turn around and look at self when it needs to be. So there's definitely more growth that needs to be had independently. But I do feel like it's more of person B. It's not that they don't want to. I think it's subconsciously what they're doing, but that they know that there is definitely more growth to be had. But they're very passionate right now about this project or this mission. And I just feel like you guys will have to tell me in the comments, because I feel it's something so great and wonderful, this mission that you guys are on. It's like a service to humanity of sorts, or like something that's being created that's giving people joy, or a service out of love. I just really, really admire you guys and your determination, both of you guys. We'll see what the tarot has to say, but that's kind of what I'm picking up here for the energy. Now we're going to take the shared energy, I guess, between both of you guys. So love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. I do feel like we were talking about self, and that's really what's standing out to me. Love yourself first, because it's easy to focus on the mission and then focus on the thrill of having the other person kind of admire. And this seems to be more me talking to B, but certainly A as well, because of these orphan cards here, that I feel like there's still some healing that needs to be done. That loving yourself is the only way that you're going to be able to then transcend into the next step. But I do feel it is important right now, before fully loving self, that you guys are on this mission to help build the stepping stones, then to be able to look at self, because I feel it's very painful right now. If you were just to go and do that, it'd be very difficult. So I feel like this is very much needed. This is very much fate driven. This is divine mission you guys are on that needs to kind of happen. But just to caution that you guys will eventually need to pull away and take a look at self. So we have here the first quarter moon in Pisces. I was feeling a lot of Pisces energy, a lot of moon energy with the creative side for person A. Honor your feelings. I think a lot of person A's feelings comes out in their creation, and a lot of is released from that creativity. And same with B, because B is very creative as well. But I find a lot of release from B is being able to systematically drive a lot of it. It also lets off a lot of energy. So you're both getting your thrills, I guess, and honoring your feelings outlet that way, which is great to have an outlet. But again, sometimes feelings could just be pushed down or covered up with other actions. So I do feel like, you know, that Spirit's way to say, just honor your feelings. I think you guys are honoring it by the work that's coming out, the service, the drive, as long as you guys are aware of what's stemming and driving it. Breaking barriers. I am expanding beyond limitations into joy and freedom. This is so wonderful, because the rainbow and the breaking barriers, I feel like you guys are up to something that's like just absolutely amazing. That's breaking barriers that's never been seen before, done before. Getting people to kind of push through, maybe without limitations, to enjoy their lives, which gives them the sense of freedom, this ability to expand themselves, and nothing greater than blessing someone else with this abundance that you guys are able to give to other people. That's what I'm seeing here. This is really a very unique reading for you guys. And I'm going to get into the tarot right after we do this Hope card. Now, I don't even feel like I need to pull one of these, because this is more like the challenge within the connection. But let's see what, you know, might be challenging between the two of you guys. Now, it could be a characteristic that one of you guys is not digging so much about the other. Or it could just be the situation or circumstance. But we'll see what Spirit has to say as far as the challenge between you guys in this connection. Money issue. Okay, well, that definitely stands to reason. So not necessarily maybe a connection, but money taking this off the ground. So if this isn't a romantic connection, you guys might be limited on funds. Maybe you guys need enough money to take, take your business off the ground. If this is a business, I was picking up it was some sort of maybe a business of service or a business of something that maybe money is required to really ground this, and that might be an issue. I also feel like maybe one of you guys might be a little bit better off with money, which I'm picking up from B, and maybe A seems to be a little more carefree, and maybe that's causing some tension, because if one person's more focused on dedicating themselves in that area, it just doesn't quite seem fair. So that could definitely be a concern here with the money issue. Okay, so I'm not really seeing any challenges between the two of you guys, but let's take a look and see what we see with the tarot. Thank you, Spirit, for giving us clear, concise message and allowing me to articulate that message to pile number 3. Thank you. We will take a look at the tarot, and Spirit, thank you so much. If you can please give us clear, concise message for pile number 3 as far as their situation. And pile number 3, I'm so thankful for you allowing me to tap into your energy of you and your person. We got the King of Cups in reverse. We got the World. We got the Hermit in reverse. We got too many cards, Spirit. We'll do this again. Spirit, can we get 1 or 2 cards for the first row here? Thank you. I got the 5 of Cups in reverse. And 1 more right here. We got the 7 of Cups in reverse. Why is the King of Cups here in reverse, Spirit? We will take these 2. We got the 3 of Cups in reverse, and we got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Why is the World here, Spirit? We got the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Why is the Hermit in reverse here, Spirit? We got the Empress. Why is the 5 of Cups in reverse here? We got the 8 of Wands in reverse. And then finally, why do we have the 7 of Cups here, Spirit? In reverse. We have the 7 of Swords. Okay, so let's see what energies I'm picking up here. Yeah, I'm picking up that in this connection, you guys have been kind of avoiding the connection, like the relationship or connection between the two of you guys. You guys have been really focused on this mission and this outcome that you guys are kind of working on. And I feel almost as though maybe any sort of emotions have been put on the back burner because your mission is so important that you guys don't want to maybe mix your pleasure with business kind of thing is what I'm picking up, or at least there are feelings being held back here in this situation, and I feel like it's kind of at one point maybe there was more talk about feelings, and I just feel like maybe that's been over. And with the Hermit here in reverse, I feel like most likely A pulls away and goes into severe like isolation, and the only person they allow in is person B. With this Empress, I just feel like you, B, provide a lot to person A when it comes to feeding their energy, creativity, the creation side. Really, you're kind of their muse, like I said. It really helps them to develop and build what it is that they come up with. And I do feel like there is some sadness coming from B, that maybe potentially the connection as far as romantically, or at least emotions are concerned, so it's maybe not necessarily romantic, but as far as emotions are concerned, that there is some regret. Maybe that things didn't go deeper in the situation. So if it was romantic, that things maybe didn't really totally unfold the way that person B had wanted it to. And maybe there's more that person B kind of wants to share with person A. I feel here with the 7 of Cups in reverse, this speaks of, maybe getting lost in fantasy too. So maybe There's some pie in the sky type fantasies. That Spirit's just cautioning to bring you back down kind of to earth. That, yeah, it's great. But you guys are kind of building on each other, that maybe there's a little bit of an illusion in order to not have to deal with those orphan traumas we were seeing. And I feel like there's heavy fantasizing here going on with person B. Yeah, it's just kind of, you guys are both kind of in your own little world and picturing the other as different than what is actually really the reality of what's happening. But yet together you guys are both working in unison to for the outcome. But you guys are both far removed from what I think reality is really happening here, with person A like using person B, but they're kind of using them as in like getting energy from them in order to be creative, whereas B's also getting energy from A to in order to maybe let out, have a venue to let out some of their pent up energy or things that need healing. Same with A, if that made sense. Let me try to explain that again. Like, for example, A will knows that B is their inspiration and hang out with B and use B to create and be inspired and kind of use that as an outlet to let out some of the traumas and as an outlet. And it's very creative and imaginary type world because it has to be in order to be in that headspace, but it is their headspace. So it's kind of like fantasy world based from this, what has happened. So it's not really what's happening. It's like taking a fragment of reality and turning it into this creation. And for B, it's like taking whatever A created and taking it off the ground and selling it or driving it or pushing it or helping to move it forward. Keeps them busy. So it keeps them in this headspace that I'm going to keep doing this and then this will happen, and I'm just kind of filling my life with this action, but not really understanding, what the drivers are behind it. It's kind of like their own idea of what they want to happen. So you guys are kind of in your own little worlds doing that. Meanwhile, something is being created, something is being pushed forward, which could cause a lot of isolation here, to be honest. And maybe that's why one of you guys is here. Just maybe the connection has been a little bit isolated because there definitely is feelings, a lot of deep feelings, but maybe B isn't quite sure how A feels. And A is kind of in their own little headspace that I don't think they know how B feels, but they're just kind of more in this floating space. Whereas I think B just doesn't really want to know, or at least in denial, kind of. That's what I'm picking up for like energy feelings. Here with the 3 of Cups in reverse. This can speak of overdoing things, such as maybe when they get into their creative headspace, or like overextending themselves. But it can also speak of, overly drinking, over gamble, over sexed, over in an unhealthy way. So I do feel, though, this is really consuming person A and that they're overly doing it. So hopefully, they're aware, if you are person A, of potential burnout, because there's only so much energy to pour into something. I feel like this 10 of Cups in reverse is speaking of that money issue. I'm getting very heavily money issue here. Like maybe something has happened where somebody who had a solid family at some point with, equity and finances and stability, it may have been flipped upside down. So now they're kind of rebuilding themselves up, and that's why money's an issue. They're not really have enough to maybe think that they can pull what they need off the ground with what is there. And I feel like with the 9 of Pentacles here in reverse, normally this card is to me not getting one's wish. But that's not what I'm picking up from here. I'm almost picking up like this overconfident from person. I am picking up from person A this overconfidence in maybe their ability to have this niche creation that it's almost like they're overlooking some facts that they might need to because they're just overly confident. And I sense that person B might be not being completely open with A and having that tough discussion with them, that the reality of the situation here, because I do feel like A is kind of still in their fantasy head, but they are investing in an unhealthy way to their habit, which I think is this creation, their hobby, their habit. And it's just going to keep kind of snowballing here. So Spirit is just cautioning to pace it. So if you are A, just kind of pace your energies you're putting in. I am feeling for, I think it's person B, that maybe the drive that person B had at one time to be a part of the creation is kind of dimmed down a little bit. And I feel it's because person A has now kind of taken the wheel of creation. Like at first I felt it was kind of even, but now because person B is kind of taking more of the direction and taking the goods that, I say goods, doesn't have to be tangible, but the creation that A is doing and taking it forward, that it's become this habit. So now B isn't as involved in that creation process. So they kind of developed your own role in this thing. You know, this is a lot about a partnership is what I'm seeing here. So this is very specific. If this isn't resonating, go feel free to check out pile 1 or 2. But they're kind of taking on this role. So now it's become their role. But I do feel like there's still a big piece of B who wants to be involved in that creation process, that maybe they're getting shut out. You know, with the 7 of Swords here in reverse, I feel like you, person B, might feel like A has kind of just cut you out of that whole thing. And you're kind of taking it as, I don't know, you're kind of not liking that. And I don't think A's did that on purpose, but they're just kind of on a roll in their head. So they're just kind of running with it. But that's what I'm sensing here for what I'm seeing for the tarot. But we will get some messages here from pile number 3 for person A to person B. So Spirit, is there anything, I will actually take the bottom of these 2, that person A wants to say to person B. So let's see. And then what does person B want to say to person A? If they were to tell them anything, what does person A want to tell person B? I do actually feel this one as well. Okay. So let's see. What do they want to say? You are so sexy to me. I cannot resist you. Wow. Okay. So I feel like person B being able to creatively inspire A is really made person A attracted to person B because of the inspiration that B is really brought to A. And I think that person A also is really turned on by the fact that person B is very meticulous and detailed and driven to be able to sort through that, because person A just is not that type of person. And I think that really is a sexy turn on. Now, I'm still not picking up romantic, believe it or not, with sexy. I think they just really admire that sexy side of the brain. And I'm really feeling that definitely person A feels person B has this sexy quality about them. I can be very controlling. So I was picking up here with person B feeling like they got kind of shut out of the creative process. That yeah, maybe when A is kind of in the zone of doing creations or being creative, they can get quite controlling of what it is that they need. And, you know, I am hearing from spirit and I can kind of relate, um, because being a creative myself, I just feel like at times maybe things will come out more like a demand rather than a request. So it sounds like it's controlling, but this person's in the zone as to creating. So it's like, you know, a doctor operating, it's like scalpel, you know, tweezers, like because they're focused on their creation. So when they are kind of barking orders at B, and I don't really see them as barking orders, but more of this direct controlling way. Because I do feel like it comes off as controlling, but it's not necessarily the way they're saying it. It's just the fact that what it is that they're expecting from B, that B feels like their A is being controlling. But I don't feel like it's anything B needs to be totally worried about. It's more of how A gets when they're in the zone. Let's look up at the stars. So yeah, I think B is kind of in that mode where maybe you're missing out for B on what you used to have in the past for the creative side. And I feel like right now, just stopping to be able to get involved in that creative bit, or like stopping to look at the stars, is something that is not happening right now because you've been so focused on driving it and taking what A is doing that you kind of miss the way things were in the past. That stopping to look at the stars is something that would be a luxury, that would kind of be nostalgic to you and what kind of brought you guys together on this role. So I do feel like, you know, you do have this creative side that is maybe getting, I just feel like the light is dimming a little bit in that regard because of how things have been turning. But yeah, I am feeling that. And I don't know what you can do at this point to help, because it's almost like you guys have developed these roles. Maybe something on the side you can do that's going to help you be creative with this, and not all of your energy in supporting A's creations, but your own creations too that need to come out. I am picking up maybe for some of you guys, maybe a side thing that you're kind of doing and not telling A about, and are too scared to maybe tell A because it might threaten them that you've created your own little thing similar. But I'm picking that up for some of you guys. I need some time to think. You definitely need time to think, person B. Not only, you know, because I feel like some of you guys are now feeling this cut out of the creative process, but I also feel like time to think, because that orphan trauma healing part still needs to be addressed